What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Original Brew Collective podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you've tuned in with us before, you know that we drink different beers from different breweries, and we are recording this one again over Zoom. We are still in quarantine, so Robert and I were not able to get the same beers this week, but we still wanted to drink a beer and talk about some stuff with each other. So, Robert, what are you drinking today?
Yeah, today I am drinking a beer. It's actually a collaboration. So it came from Moksa Brewing, which is in Rockland, California, a local brewery to us. But it's a collaboration with Casa Agria, which is located in Oxnard, California. It's a double IPA coming in at 8.1% ABV. ABV, sorry.
No,
I swapped the B and the V. Yeah, really excited about this one, just because, both breweries have had both, never a collab, but both have always produced some pretty strong IPAs. So I'm excited about this.
Nice.
What are you drinking?
So I picked up from my local bottle shop this beer from, I've never had a beer from them before, but honestly, I was sold on the can art. I thought it was pretty cool. So it's called Dryland is Not a Myth, and it's by a brewery called Pariah Brewing, and they're located in San Diego, California. So this one is an American IPA, and it's 7.5% ABV. So I'm pretty stoked about it. It actually has something right here. It's really small, like on the screen, but it's like a silhouette on the can art of a Spiegelau. So I got like the perfect
Nice
glassware for it. So
man. Do you know if they have that for each? If they have proper glassware for each of their styles?
Maybe. I only saw they had at the bottle shop. They had 3 different IPAs. Those were the only styles I saw, and they all had. It says enjoy in an IPA glass, serve at 38 degrees to 45 degrees. So
cool. So it sounds like they do. Probably.
I'm guessing they do. Yeah.
That's really cool. That's a really cool idea.
Yeah. So
stay woke.
Heck yeah. Dude, should we crack them open?
Let's do it. So if you're not watching with us on YouTube right now, In Good Company, once again, is a double IPA hazy DIPA that I'm drinking from Moksa and Casa Agria specialty ales. It's kind of hard to describe. It's not actually that hard to describe the artwork. It's like some red, white, and blue colored. It's like mountains with a billboard or something, some sort of signage coming out of the top of it.
That reminds me of that reminds me of a Young the Giant album artwork.
Yeah, it does. If anyone's fans of Young the Giant, they're a really good band, super good live. It does remind me of Young the Giant. Good call out.
So my can, I feel like they have similar. Oh no, not really. I was gonna say similar colors, but mine actually has mountains on it too, and it's kind of like a cartoonish type of can art where there's like a cartoon character of a coconut and a peach on here. So I'm thinking that might be the flavor profile, but we'll see.
Peach coconut, that sounds really good.
Yeah, it does.
So I have mine poured into the glass. The head is made up of a lot of dense, it's a mixture actually of dense bubbles and then some really big bubbles in the head. It's hanging on there, but it's thinning out a little quicker, I feel like, than I'm used to. I'm a little surprised. I'm not going to judge it off of that just yet, but I'm excited. I'm already getting some notes on the nose.
Mine definitely has some dense bubbles as well, and I'm actually pretty impressed with the head. It's retaining very, very nicely, and it might look different, but I was expecting this to be more clear than it is. It's actually pretty hazy, mine, and yeah, I thought it'd be more clear, but.
I was curious if it was going to be how hazy it was going to be, because with Americans, it can go either way depending on if it's unfiltered or whatnot. So
yeah,
mine is looking, obviously it's a hazy DIPA is what they say on the can. It is very hazy. It's pretty orange, golden orange though. I feel like it's hard to see, at least from what I can see on of what I look like and what my beer looks like on the screen. I feel like it's not the best interpretation. It's like a rich golden orange.
Have they released that beer before?
Do you know? I didn't recall if they had or not. I would say that I don't recall if they have, but there was a comment made by the owner. He posted a photo on I think to their Facebook group that I'm in, and he said it's tasting good this time or something. So just based off his comment, it made me believe that maybe this is the second time they brewed it, but I can't confirm that for sure.
Okay, nice. What are you getting on the nose on it?
Oh my gosh, it smells really good. Tons of melon.
Really?
I was expecting I was going to get a little more citrus, but a lot of melon. It smells really good.
So on mine, I mean, I for sure I get a lot of peach on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot.
No coconut?
Not a lot of coconut. I like very minimal, but there's not a whole lot. It's like peach is pretty like yeah, peach is pretty upfront on this one.
Cool.
Smells nice
You
though.
want you want to try them?
Yeah, let's do it.
Ben and I are both wearing AirPods, so hopefully the sipping, gulping isn't too loud. Because I could hear Ben pretty clear.
Yeah, I could hear you really clear too. I loved it. Oh my! So what are you getting on yours?
Dude, it's the nose matches
Sell
the
me on
palate.
it.
Absolutely,
Sell me on it.
absolutely. Tons of sweet melon, but it's on the nose. I thought it was going to be based off the nose. I thought it was going to be a little bit sweeter. It's more like rich melon. I think really the double, the fact that it's a double is really lending itself to that, and making it a lot more rich, less sweet. This is really good. Some tropical notes, not just melon in general. Tons of melon, but I would say some maybe some passion fruit in there or something. This is there has some definite tropical notes, but I feel like they're a little hard to identify. I'm not going to say like pineapple or anything like that.
Tell me about the
thinking like
mouthfeel.
Definitely medium, solid medium heavy, maybe.
Mhm.
But I guess I would lean a little towards medium. This is really good. This is a really good beer.
It
It's
sounds
just
delicious.
like a nice, easy drinking double IPA.
Nice.
How's yours?
Mine's actually really good. I this, like I said, this is my first time having this brewery, and I'm pleasantly surprised. There is quite a bit of peach. I'm really not getting coconut on it. It's mostly just peach. There's like light carbonation. I would say on this, it's 7.5. I know it's like kind of getting up there towards a double, but I would say it's like a medium mouthfeel actually on this one for me.
Yeah.
And there is like a slight, I don't want to say not dankiness, just kind of like a slight bitterness at the end. It's like but this one's really easy to drink. Yeah,
This
really
one is
good.
too. Man, it's a bummer. That's your first time having that brewery, that beer, and usually I feel like we have our first beers beers together.
I know.
What a shame.
I know.
What a damn shame. Speaking of that, actually, I'm gonna have to look it up. I don't remember 100% what the name was, but I had one of the best stouts I've had in years the other night. It was a damn shame I was sipping it and telling my wife, like, I just wish that I could be sharing it with Ben because Ben would appreciate it.
Oh man.
It was Bottle Logic.
Oh, so good.
Hydra Mash. Let me see. I'm trying to look it up right now on my phone to see. They release it. It's not their first time they've released it, but it's different. So like each year a little bit. And they have different batches, obviously. Oh yeah. So this is obviously not what we're drinking tonight, but I had to talk about it because I told my wife it's a damn shame I wasn't able to share it with Ben. It was so good. I just had to share it with someone. And it was a bummer that we couldn't review it because it was just that incredible. It was Hyper Mash Hydra 2020 from Bottle Logic Brewing. And actually, I wasn't aware of this, but it has a 4.8 on Untapped. Yeah, and that makes sense why it was one of the best I've had in years. It blew my mind. The mouthfeel was perfect. Here, I will read you what all went into it. Let's see here.
So I'm just gonna say really quick, I had to take my AirPod out because it just, when I'm talking and like drinking and eating for some reason, it like falls out. So I think I need to figure out a different.
You might need the new little bug things or whatever, the squishy parts. So it's an imperial stout aged in bourbon barrels, then finished with coconut, coffee, and cinnamon. It was sublime.
That sounds so freaking good.
4.8 on tap. That's nearly perfect. That's crazy. But it tasted nearly perfect. Anyways, back to what we're drinking today. I'm drinking now in the moment. Really good beers, really good IPAs. I'm drinking a double, then drinking a single, barely a single, but still a single nonetheless. We thought that, with what we're drinking today, I'm personally drinking what is called In Good Company. We thought it'd be an interesting topic. In Good Company, if you could pick a celebrity quarantine team, who would it be? So let's say if you could be at one celebrity's house, their mansion, and then you could have tons of other celebrities come stay with you, who would those celebrities be? So I think, and Ben and I seriously have not talked about this. I have no idea who Ben's going to say. He has no idea who I'm going to say. And let's try to keep it just to celebrities and not like personal people in our lives. So obviously we both love to have our wives. Ben has a daughter. Obviously he'd want her to be there. He's not going to abandon his daughter. Yeah, so we're going to kind of wing this one, to be honest. Just okay. List off some celebrities.
So let's think about like different criterias we would want in a quarantine. Like, you know, like what
you want? Yeah. So my first thoughts, and feel free to chime in here, Ben, but would be food. So I think I'd want like some sort of chef, right? And then also defense. So someone who's like either like super jacked or like, you know, martial arts or something like that, or
so
like MMA.
Is this like
you don't know how crazy quarantine's going to get. Okay. So I'm just saying, play it safe, my friend.
So this is if quarantine is going to get wild. We're gonna say it as that. Because if it was quarantine right now, it'd be we wouldn't need too much defense.
No, it'd just be like people you'd like to have conversation with, basically. But
yeah,
we'll just leave it at like, hey, like this is getting pretty intense.
Yeah.
Who would you have?
Okay, I'm trying to think of someone who I was thinking like Nick Offerman, because he can build a lot of stuff. Like he builds stuff, and he plays Ron Swanson.
Yeah.
And so in real life, he builds stuff. Like he's really good at like building like canoes and like stuff out of wood. So I feel like that'd be pretty helpful. Like if we needed,
that's really smart.
Yeah, if we needed like shelter or something, he'd be a good person to have.
I did not think about that. That's pretty strategic, Ben. Well played.
I'm trying to think.
I don't know much about like cooking or chefs or anything like that, so I guess I'd say Bobby Flay, just because I know he's on multiple shows, and so he's got to be good, right?
How many people are we picking?
I don't know, man. As many or as few as we want, really.
Okay.
So I would say Bobby Flay for me, for my starter.
I don't even know who that is.
He's kind of I don't know if he'd be considered a redhead or not, or if he's like brown blonde hair. I don't know. You've seen him. I know what he looks like. I know that my wife's family watches cooking shows. My sister watches cooking shows, so I've seen him, and he's like supposed to be really good.
All right, because the only chefs I know are like Guy Fieri, Gordon Ramsay, but he seems like
I don't know how good. Yeah, you don't want to be around Gordon Ramsay, and I don't know how good Bob.
I think he's like a food critic, not a chef.
Yeah, I mean, he owns TGI Fridays, and so like I don't know if I've ever actually been to one, but I don't think that they're known for being like quality or classy.
Mm-hmm.
But like, hey, maybe he'd make some really good like comfort foods.
Yeah, probably.
Which you might want in quarantine.
Totally. I would totally want that. I feel bad that those are the only celebrity chefs that I know of off the top of my head, but hey, what can you do?
Martha Stewart, technically. Ooh, Martha Stewart.
Yeah. Oh, and like Rachel.
I'm adding her to mine. I'm adding Martha Stewart to mine just because she can sew and stuff like that.
Ooh, that's a good.
My next pick. Yeah, I'm getting kind of an odd crowd going. Bobby Flay and Martha Stewart, but we'll see. It's going to progress.
What about someone that you would feel would protect you?
The Rock.
Oh, dude, that's perfect.
The Rock, because dude's huge, he's jacked, and also because he was in like WWE or something like that, and everyone knows that's real. Not really, but just to be clear. And if you think it is, my apologies. But also, dude's funny. Actually, I know my next person after that. So I'm going with, so far, I've got Bobby Flay, Martha Stewart, and The Rock.
I'm thinking for some reason I want Jason Momoa, because that dude, like, he seems pretty, he's pretty jacked, and he seems like he'd be a really fun person to hang out with, and he like just seems crazy. Like he would be my rock for like you would have the rock. And
you were like the Rock Johnson, or like he'd be mentally like
yeah,
like like emotionally your rock.
he would be both actually. He would be the rock and my rock in that situation. But dude, if you've ever seen, he like throws axis and he just
I was
seems,
gonna say he throws axis. So
anyone can throw an axe, but he seems to do it well.
He threw it well. So I know I mentioned The Rock can be kind of funny. So for an entertainment purpose, I'm actually going to pair him with Kevin Hart because they're freaking amazing in movies together. They're so funny together. So I'm doing The Rock, Kevin Hart, Martha Stewart, and Bobby Flay. So I've got my entertainment, I've got my muscle, I've got my she can fix it, I guess, and she could cook too. And then I've got my chef.
Dude.
So I got 4. You have 3 right now?
Mm-hmm.
I think you're at.
I'm trying to think so I'm going to go off of that with my funny. I don't know who I'd pick for my funny. Nick Offerman's pretty funny, but dude, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of like a comedy that I've watched recently. I can't think of anyone who's funny. There's so many.
It's funny. I'm kind of like a little over his humor. Wow, crap! I forgot his name. I could picture him in my head. He's the guy who does the "What's New Pussycat" joke, like where they put the quarter in the karaoke machine over and over again at the diner. White guy, skinny, white guy, brown hair. I think he's Jewish.
Is it like
Jewish jokes?
Is it like a actor?
No, oh, he's in that show, that adult animated show. It's like all about like kids going through puberty and having sex drive.
Is that the Big Head?
Oh, it is. I think, yeah. Hold on, I'm using my phone.
Well, I thought of my person.
Who is it?
Because we've been rewatching How I Met Your Mother, and for my funny, I'd probably pick Neil Patrick Harris. Because dude, he's just watching it again. He is so funny. It's crazy.
I actually really like him. He was probably my favorite character in that show when we used to watch it.
I like a lot of the characters, but he just like kills me. It's really funny.
He's funny. John Mulaney.
Oh, that guy is so funny.
Yeah, he's super funny. Yeah.
I
would say John Mulaney would be a good one. I've already picked my comedian, and who's Kevin Hart. Very different style of comedy.
Mm-hmm.
But both very funny.
Yeah, I like him.
But I'm going to stay with Kevin.
He hosts SNL fairly often.
Oh, really?
John Mulaney, and yeah, he's always super funny when he does it.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like these are such random celebrities to pick. Okay, who would you pick?
I know.
Who would you pick as your quarantine wife if you couldn't bring your wife? I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, dude, that's a hard question. Ben knows for me, I like never say like I never list off any celebrities like that. Yeah, you're gonna get me in trouble, man. Actually, my next thought was, and maybe you could come up with one before I can, is like someone for intellectual conversations. Like who is a celebrity you'd want to be able to, like, if you're at a mansion, I'm sure you got like a fire pit or something like that, you'd want to have a beer with and have some brewery talk with, or something like, some meaningful conversation.
Yeah.
I feel like Leonardo DiCaprio would have some really good combo. So I'm leaning towards him, but I'm like, I feel like there's got to be other art, like, it doesn't have to be like actors or anything, or, musicians and stuff like that.
You know who I'd pick? Go ahead.
Go. No, you go.
Okay, I was gonna say, I really like this. I've been listening to. Do you know who Justin Long is?
Yes.
Like, yeah. He has a podcast that I've been listening to, and it's called Life is Short. And he would be such a fun person to talk to, because he's like really funny, but also has like a lot of good insight on stuff. So I'd probably pick him. He'd be a fun person to have.
Okay, cool. I haven't thought of my intellectual person yet, necessarily. Although I think this guy could probably be pretty damn intellectual. but I found my potentially like good conversation / therapist, and I would bring on Joe Rogan.
Oh,
Because that dude, yeah, like when he interviews people, like my wife told me that she heard he's the Oprah for men, which I thought was absolutely hilarious because it's completely true. But he like has a way of like almost 100% of the time, he doesn't like talk down to his guests or anything like that. He's like super open and like asks them pretty like solid questions, like to dive deeper into like their minds and stuff like that. So for sure, Joe Rogan. Yeah,
I think that's a good thing to try to do in life. You know, just like when you're talking to people, to never think that you're better than them, because you know what I mean? I think that's cool. I haven't listened to a whole lot of him, but I like that.
dude's like he's super open to things. Like he's open to like whatever different ideas and concepts and stuff like that.
It's
So that's
so
why I
good.
really
That's so
respect him.
Yeah, that's so good to like be open to all that stuff, because why not?
The only one where I've ever heard him where I was like, okay, Joe Rogan is like thinks this dude's a joke. It was Tom DeLonge from Blink-182 when
Okay,
Tom DeLonge was talking about the alien organization he started.
this is going to be a side note, but it's related now that you brought that up. First question: Tom DeLonge, which one is he in Blink-182? Is he the higher pitched one or the
Vocalist.
lower?
The higher.
Okay, I thought so. I don't know why, because I had like no idea. But
he's like the main singer in almost all the songs, in almost all of them.
And then I was going to tell you that Robert created this playlist on Apple Music for you. You initially created it. You initially created it when you were playing Tony Hawk on Nintendo, right?
Yeah, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 on N64.
Yeah, and it's like an early 2000s rock, and so pretty much the music we grew up listening to, like in junior high and high school. And I asked him to share it with me. So I didn't tell you this, but the other night, I think it was like a couple nights ago, I stayed up. My wife went to bed, and I was just like staying up, and I was playing Mario Kart, and I was like, dude, I feel like I'm gonna put this playlist on. Dude, it was incredible. So I put the playlist on because like Blink-182 is on there, Newfound Glory, Papa Roach, like all the Sum 41, and I played Mario Kart probably like for the whole entire playlist, and it was a good vibe, dude. And then I won gold in Mario.
Dude, and it's because of the playlist.
It was because of the playlist, man. It was so awesome though.
Did you have the sound on the TV when you're playing Mario though? Or no?
So I actually had my AirPods in, so it was canceling out everything.
Okay. The only reason, well, I guess with the new, if anyone's familiar with Nintendo Switch, the new Mario, like it showed, like not only does it give you sounds, like if a red shell is coming at you or something like that, or a blue shell, it's coming your way, like it'll like alert you with sound. But it will also like have a little icon showing you that it's coming. So yeah. I guess like you could do that with Switch. But I remember back in the day, you couldn't do it, something like that. When I was like playing N64, if I were playing other games that required me to actually hear like if something was coming up behind me or something. But cool, dude, I'm glad that playlist came in handy. If anyone wants it, hit me up. It's a killer playlist.
Oh, I was wondering too, and maybe you'll know. If I was to add something to that playlist, like if I wanted to add another song to it, would it add it to yours as well?
I don't know, because it wouldn't, because I created it in Apple Music and you are not in my family plan.
Oh, sweet.
Which is funny because some of our other friends are on my family plan.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
It's a steal, $15 a month, and we all just contribute.
Yeah.
But yeah, so no, if you're in the same family plan, it'll update and like you could share it between family. But no, if you change it, it shouldn't. Although I'd be curious.
I'll try to.
I don't think it.
You can let me know.
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
Dude, so is there anyone else you pick?
Yeah. So I was gonna say, anyways. Let's see. So who do I have? Martha Stewart, Bobby Flay, The Rock, Kevin Hart, Joe Rogan. I'm just trying to think now, like someone who's like not like super intellectual, but someone would be like, yeah, they're probably pretty cool. Like I'd like to hang out with them. I think Shia LaBeouf's really cool, but he's crazy. Like something would go down where he'd be like the guy who like you're like, okay, like he needs help, like let him in, like and like I don't know. I feel like at this point I'm making the quarantine like a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
But if we're like, we let him in and people would be like, no, don't do it. And I'm like, no, it's totally cool. He's fine. And then he would end up being the guy who like snaps mentally and like tries to kill us all while we're sleeping. So despite how much I like Shia LaBeouf and respect him as a crazy actor, no.
What about Adam
that might,
Driver? That guy was a Marine, dude. Did you know that?
which one's Adam Driver?
He was Kylo Ren in Star Wars.
Oh yeah, I did know that. I watched. He actually was on a TED Talk.
Yeah, that was a good TED Talk.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd have Adam Driver. I do think he's a really good actor.
Pretty moody.
Yeah. I mean, you're thinking that because of Kylo Ren. just Kylo Ren was secretly just like an emo kid.
Anything he's ever in, he's pretty moody.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I guess if we're like talking celebrities, it really kind of depends on like what the definition of celebrity is and the celebrity status, like how big a celebrity they have to be, like C-list, D-list, you know? So I would say, I would try to think of like the biggest, best craft brewery I could think of, and then just bring their head brewer. So like, I think maybe that would be like Stone Brewing or something like that. Someone who hasn't sold out, I suppose. Like Lagunitas wouldn't count. Ballast Point wouldn't count. So I would think of something like that.
It would be nice to have some great beer.
You know, I might just go with the owner, and I don't know if he's a head brewer still, but I guess it's Sierra Nevada just because it's classic. I mean, they're big enough. So I think that they have to be big enough to be counted as like, you know, well-known enough to be like somewhat of a celebrity. So I guess I would go with that. There are other breweries that would pick their head brewers over him, but it is what it is. Just sticking to the rules.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, man. I think that's my list. I don't know who else I'd have. I don't know if I have.
So you're not gonna have anyone homebrew for you?
Okay.
That's the whole purpose of me bringing that guy.
If I had to bring a home brewer, or just a brewer in general.
Yeah, you'd be thinking of someone who could brew. So you'd have to think of like, I think that it'd have to be like one of the bigger craft beer breweries.
Yeah.
In order to count them as like, you know,
I mean,
celebrity status.
I would probably bring Sierra Nevada too.
Yeah.
Or Alaskan. No,
I like Alaskan.
Yeah, they're pretty classic too.
Yeah, they're classic. I would agree. Okay, and we could do beer mail.
Oh, that's perfect. We shouldn't have the same one.
Yeah. So yeah, we don't need the same one. We'll just like ship each other homebrew stuff. Cool.
I think someone if that person still lives in Alaska, which I'm guessing they do, they'd have some different stories to share with me than someone who lives in California. You know?
That's true. But I would get stories from the guy who is one of the biggest movers of IPA. Or not the biggest mover, but one of the biggest pushers of IPA back in the day that really created the IPA revolution. So that'd be cool to hear.
And then we could share stories.
Yeah. I watched a documentary. He was saying Sierra Nevada was pushing IPAs before anyone even wanted them. Like no one liked them because they were just like so bitter back then, like the West Coast IPA style and everything. So cool. Well, I think that we, you know, with this list of people, each like we both made, we would find ourselves in good company.
Oh.
So I'm drinking In Good Company, collaboration brew, double IPA from Moksa Brewing in Rockland, California, and Casa Agria from Oxnard, California. This is a double IPA, like I said, hazy style, coming in at 8.1 ABV. Ben, what are you drinking? Remind us.
Yes, I am drinking Dryland Is Not a Myth from Pariah Brewing in San Diego, California, coming in at 7.5% ABV. And like I said, this was this brewery to me seems like they're the real deal. Because just like their can, I just saw in here, it says drink within 90 days of date code, which I am. This was brewed on April 24th. And I really enjoyed it. I'm definitely going to get some more stuff from them if I can.
Nice. Yeah, I've definitely heard of them. I've never had them. And I'm kind of bummed that I can't try them with Ben right now, but it is what it is. It's quarantine.
Yeah.
So, oh well. Cool. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out with us and listening. We really do appreciate it. Hope everyone's safe out there. Hope everyone's family is safe and well. We close out every episode with the cheers. So cheers to you, as always. Ben, do you have anyone in mind you want to cheers to?
I would like to cheers to someone.
All right.
So I'm gonna say this because we finally put this out there. This is gonna be a cheers to my wife and all the mothers out there, because we just celebrated Mother's Day yesterday. We are expecting our second kid, so we're super excited about that. So cheers to my wife. Cheers to all the moms.
Woohoo! Congrats, Ben.
Yeah.
He's going to be a daddy for the second time.
Heck yeah.
Third time if you count your wife. Inappropriate? Probably. Sorry. Don't let Jessica listen to this episode. Anyways, I ruined it.
It's all good, dude.
Well, congrats, Ben. Ben is going to be a father for the second time.
Yeah, but cheers to all the moms.
Cheers to all the moms. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Mom. Without my mom and Ben's mom, we wouldn't be here today doing this podcast. So thanks, moms. Cheers.
Cheers.